An important issue in America today is physician-assisted suicide. The question with this is, should we allow people the right to choose to end their own life in the case of being terminally ill? What's ironic about this is that we don't allow the right for people to choose to end their life if they are suffering a horrible illness, but we end an animal's life for small reasons such as not enough space or supplies in the shelter to be able to take care of them. According to the ASPCA, 6.5 million animals enter shelters each year. Only about 1.5 million of these animals are euthanized for reasons such as not having space or not having supplies to care for them. The majority of the animals euthanized are cats because cats are more likely to not have an ID tag if they run away from their owners. So if they run away from an owner, they would be considered a stray and they would be turned over immediately to an animal shelter. Dogs are more likely to wear ID tags because they go outside more than cats anyway. So if a dog has an ID tag with their owner's name and phone number on it and address, they're more likely to be turned back over to their owner. According to the ASPCA, only 2% of these cats are reunited with their owners, whereas 16% of dogs are reunited. Also, in a survey by the American Humane Society, 25% of dogs are adopted out of this 6.5 million that are turned over, and only about 24% of cats are adopted from shelters, which means that these are very small numbers compared to the amount of animals that are turned over every year. So the question is, how do we fix this problem? Well, some people would say that we build more shelters. Well, what's wrong with that is that where would we get the money? A lot of animal shelters are 100% volunteer based, which means that people give money to these shelters so that they could buy supplies and build more rooms and cages for all of these animals. So with that, also the people that work at these shelters are all volunteers. So with that is where would we have the money for that? For the reason that that animals are euthanized anyway is because there aren't enough money or supplies for them to live and to wait until they are adopted. So that's not a very good idea. Another solution that people would have is that they would just release the animals to the wild. What's very wrong with this is that these are all companion animals and they all rely on us to be taken care of. If we release a cat or a dog into the wild, they could starve, they could be run over and killed, die a slow, painful death, or they could be taken by some kind of juvenile teenager and tortured for fun. So all of these are just bad ideas that we do not release a companion animal to the wild and expect for them to fend for themselves because they are not wild animals. And then another solution that people would have is for all animals to wear ID tags. This would only help the animals that run away from their homes anyway and are released to shelters. Whereas for animals that are strays or have always lived outside or even puppies or kittens that were born this way, that are turned over to animal shelters, or even the ones that their owners give them animals over willingly because they can't take care of them. So this will only give a solution for a very small percentage of animals that are turned over to the humane societies. Well, we have a lot more animals than that anyway. So probably only about a small percentage out of the 6.5 million are animals that had homes before. So what I would suggest would be a solution for this problem is to outlaw dog breeders. And for that, there are many reasons. Many people will spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on a purebred animal when purebreds are more likely to have health issues than mixed breeds anyway. Because purebreds are more likely to have health issues is because that they are more likely inbred. That is what most purebred animals are, is that they keep breeding in that one line to get that specific trait for that animal. Whereas with mixed breeds, you know that there is not interbreeding family, so they don't have very many health issues. A lot of animals in shelters are very, very friendly and cute anyway, and they deserve homes. So instead of spending thousands of dollars on one type of animal. Go to a shelter, spend maybe 50 on a couple of animals that are great for all family and friends. I myself just recently adopted a cat from the hometown Humane Society, and she is taken to all of the other animals, and myself included, very well. So instead of spending thousands of dollars on animals, try to save an animal today.